Well, it's a very good afternoon. It is day 5 of the 2019 Ames Games. It is finals time, and it is now the turn of the girls in the women's basketball. 27 teams started this competition, and we are now down to 2. It's the South Island versus the North. We've got Cobham Intermediate in the red and white out of Christchurch, taking on the school out of Hamilton in Mairoa Intermediate. Mark Watson's my name, alongside of me, Tall Black, Daron Raukawa. And let's have a look at both teams as we are underway, and immediately it is Cobham who go to a 2-point lead.
Yeah, that was a great start by Cobham. I mean, obviously they want to come off hot with their up and in pressure, and they have shown just that.
Well, interesting talking to the coaches from Cobham. They very much, girls tend to come more from a netball background. Mairoa, contrasting styles, tend to be more genuine basketball players. A lot of rep players in this Mairoa side. And just looking at the two teams in terms of height, you probably have to give the advantage perhaps to Cobham.
Yes, you do. Definitely, like you said, they have a more of a netball background, so they're good at intercepting those passing lanes and making good passes themselves. But this Mairoa team just know how to move and know how to be fluent in terms of basketball.
Yeah, not afraid to take it to the basket. Will bring a little of aggression. Great screen, great defence immediately. Cobham unsuccessful with the layup.
That's nice there. That's what Cobham has done all tournament. I've kept an eye on them, and they're really good at just finishing off plays and making sure they finish at a high clip.
So Tibi Pata Walker for Mairoa. Again, combining nicely. Good combination coming from Anaya Nelson, wearing the number 7 for Mairoa, and Walker.
That's going to be one struggle there. As you can see, Cobham just always crashes the offensive glass. Mairoa needs to make sure they clean up any long rebounds from deep shots.
Oh, that's great vision. That's a wonderful pass. But on that occasion, missed maybe the pressure. Getting to the shooter. Oh, good individual skills. And we're going to have a timeout taken from Mairoa.
Yeah, that's a quick timeout there taken by Mairoa. I think what she's going to be talking about is Cobham's breaking their press quite easily. Now, that's one thing that Mairoa does. They get up and in, and they make sure they try and trap in specific zones as soon as you cross over halfway, and Cobham's just breaking that and getting easy layups. I'm sure that'll be the topic of discussion.
Yeah, Joanna McCaskill wearing the number 42. Brings a lot of height. Got a lot of physicality. Is it a case in a final of looking to try and shut down individuals, or have you just got to play your game and then assess things as you progress through this final?
Yeah, you got to come out and play the way you have all tournament. I mean, they've played a lot of games this tournament, and you don't want to change it up on the finals. You want to keep playing how your team knows they've been playing. Yeah,
it is the 9th game for Mairoa in this Ames Games for 2019, the 10th for Cobham. Oh, some wonderful individual skills, possibly picked up for travelling. No. I say play on.
Yeah, got picked up for a foul there. That's number 40. Just ref says shifting her hips.
Yeah, what have made the refereeing throughout the week?
Yeah, our refereeing's been good. I've enjoyed watching them. Obviously, heaps of young kids coming in and getting their practice, and they've been good. They've had a lot of people overseeing and teaching them, correcting them where they've been wrong, but overall, I reckon the refereeing's been great.
And so from the free throw line, 1 from 2. Oh, some good defence there again from Mairoa, putting plenty of pressure on Cobham. And wearing the number 5 for Mairoa is Tia Kupu. Kopu. Good patience being shown here by Cobham.
Rimmed in and out. She'd be gutted that didn't fall.
It's small percentage, isn't it? Just that attention, just those little things, those little moments, and this could come down to moments.
Yeah, with two teams like this, every bucket's going to count. It's not going to be the highest scorings of games. Two good defensive squads.
So some good skills, once again, coming from Mairoa. through their playmaker, Timipata Walker, also their captain. She's an explosive athlete, breaking out though, down the other end of the court. Good quick play from Cobbin, prepared to chance their arm. But good defence from Mairoa.
As you can see, there's not much look at the hoops from outside of the key. Both teams are just trying to get layups all day.
Yeah, well, we got the rebound back. Looking for the foul, not given. Did we get a travelling call, did we?
Yeah, she didn't stay on that pivot foot. She put the other foot down, and the ref made a great call.
Just explain travelling, and we do just want to welcome in our audiences from around the country, particularly the student bodies of both Mairoa and Cobbin Intermediate. We'll come back to that as we watch once again Mairoa starting to just maybe get a little bit of ascendancy, and again it's Timipata Walker as we go to another timeout. 7-6 it is. Mairoa leading over Cobbin. Cobbin out of Christchurch. Yeah, just take us through travelling. What do they mean by travelling?
So when you're dribbling down the court and you're going up for a layup, once you pick up that basketball, you only have 2 steps. And if you put your 3rd foot down at any point, the ref's going to ping you for a travel. Like that play
so
there.
It's basically running with the ball.
Yeah. You
basically
know that,
taking a bit of a walk.
Yeah, you're allowed those.
You weren't guilty of that in your career, were you, Daron?
I don't think I've been called for a travel once my whole career.
Oh, I hate overachievers, Daron. Daron Raukawa, member of the Tall Blacks, is my expert comments. And again, we just want to acknowledge the parents of the players on both sides and the basketball community across intermediate schools throughout New Zealand for their wonderful participation in what has been a remarkable week. It is Mairoa with the narrowest of leads, 7-6. Mairoa in the blue, Cobbin in the red and the white. So Cobbin very much prepared to use full court. Just try and slow things down. A bit more composure now coming from Cobbin. Good defensive screen here from Mairoa, and they get the break, they get the turnover. Unlucky, but they will go to the free throw line.
Now that's just some pure speed. She gets the steal and then she just boosts ahead of all the Cobbin players. Unfortunately, didn't get the and one, but she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Anaya Nelson. So Anaya, can she make it 2 from 2? She can. And that shows great mental fortitude in a final. 9-6.
Didn't even look like missing at all.
I saw you taking notes.
Yes.
So again, Mairoa, they said they'd come out, they said they'd be aggressive. They perhaps don't have that height. They want to play with speed. They want to go hard to the basket. We're starting to see that. Both teams now just starting to settle down with the nerves. What a wonderful player she is. Timipata Walker. Another little layup, 2 more. 10-6.
Yeah, she's shown she can finish with both hands. Oh, off the back of the backboard, an unlucky pass.
Oh, some wonderful athleticism, the little turn, the little shoot, didn't quite though get the accuracy on it. And so chance now here for Cobbin to try and just close. We haven't seen a lot of 3-point shooting yet, have we?
No, I don't think we will see much 3-point shooting in this. We got 2 teams who just can find seams and get to the rim, and I think they'll be seeing that all game.
Oh, that's some good athleticism, unlucky. Now Mairoa turned defence into attack, full court. But just a little bit too long. You've got to love the intent though at this age, isn't it? Sometimes it doesn't quite come off, but I love the fact that they're just playing on intuition. They're not, not afraid to actually have a go. Do something special, make the highlight reel.
Yeah, she was trying to be a little quarterback there in the NFL team. That was a nice pass, just couldn't get a hand to it.
So it is Cobbin. Got plenty of height, but boy, great screen, great defence coming from Mairoa. Defence, like in most final, ultimately will probably win you the game.
Yeah, well, you know the old saying, defence wins championships. And we're seeing some good defence here. As we say that, she just gets her hand and swipes it across the shooter, so 2 shots will be coming up.
So 11-6. Into the free throw line we go.
Bit strong there. I don't know if she was trying to bank that one in, but
Joanna McCaskill, the captain. As we said, they do predominantly come from more of a netball background. Of course, the ball is different, the hoop is different, the heights. And so it is a bit of an adjustment, isn't it? They're used to throwing a netball around, suddenly having to adjust. In fact, they're surprised they've made the final. I was talking to their coach and actually said they're on a flight out of Auckland at 8 o'clock. So, been somewhat of a surprise package at this tournament. That's a lovely little turnover.
I think they might have sold themselves short. They're playing excellent basketball this tournament.
Well, unlucky then, but again, just great pressure from Mairoa. Can't capitalise, second opportunity. Can they get the rebound, Cobbin? Still goes the way of Mairoa. So Anaya Nelson, very explosive for Mairoa in the number 7. Starting to see some changes off the bench for Cobbin. We've had a chance now to have a look at Mairoa. That's the interesting thing, isn't it? These teams don't get a lot of chance and opportunity to really study who they're going to play in the final. And so it's up to the coaches early on to get a little bit of a read on the game to find out where the strengths, the weaknesses are of their opponents.
Yeah, it is. I mean, after both of these teams won in the semi-final, I actually did see them stick around and try and get a clip of, you know, who they're playing next game and maybe get some inside knowledge.
Timmy Pata walk up, looking to control things. Good all-round team effort. The referees. So Mairoa. Good niggly defence from Cobbin.
It's good to see here, even at an intermediate level, that Mairoa has an out-of-bounds play that they're running. They both have, as you see, a nice finish. They have a full structure where they all sit on one corner of the key and then they make an action from there until someone gets open.
Oh, good defence from Mairoa. And that is just simply pressure that leads to the turnover. And again, we go to the free throw line for Mairoa. It'll be Tia Kopu. Four and a half minutes remaining in this first half, 17 minutes each way. The first free throw attempt, unsuccessful. It's all about rhythm, all about timing. Okay. And Cobbin now really need to just try and get some momentum, see if they can just get a little bit of a shift here. So they decide to go to their skipper, their captain, and she will draw the foul, and she will go to the free throw line. So good play here from Joanna McCaskill.
Yeah, she's been playing good all tournament. She just uses that height and that strength, and unfortunately she hasn't made a free throw tonight. Let's see if she can change it up. She's been getting closer each time.
Yeah, not going to go this time either. That'll be frustrating for the coaching staff. I'd imagine it's frustrating for the player as well. Chance here for Mairoa to break, and they do. And here we go. Quality side, well drilled.
You can even hear from the sideline there, coach saying motion. So they do have play calls up their sleeve.
Lucky not to get caught for travelling. Again, as long as the referees are consistent at both ends. And Timmy Pata Walker really controlling things. The number 10 for Mairoa, the captain. So
see if Cobb can get something to go here.
So 13 is Neem Chamberlain.
Nice take, unable, too strong on the finish. It's probably the cleanest look they've had all night.
It's good. And you just wonder when. So they need to capitalise now on their free throws. They've had opportunities, but they haven't been able to turn them into points. So they have been putting some pressure on at the offensive end.
Yeah, they've been getting to the line. See if they can just start to knock these down. If they knock all these free throws down, it's a completely different ball game.
You sort of sense this one's going to go in. Commentator's curse?
I hope so. I hope it goes in.
And again, unsuccessful. And Mairoa Now, we'll look just to slow things down. Take their time. Full court pressure. Some good skills. Some good basketball. Lovely little layoff.
Oh, that's a nice take. Finds a gap.
But the rebound goes the way of Cobham. Now they look to break out. Travelling though. We talked about it. That third step being picked up for that.
Yeah, they've been pinged for multiple travels in the backcourt, which is not where you want to pick up a travel. You've got to put that ball down before you start running.
What a basketball player this young girl is. And this time the shot coming from number 12, Shayana Robson. Her mum is the manager for this Mairoa Intermediate School side. Oh, getting their chances, just the scoring percentage. It'd be interesting to have a look at the stats at half-time.
Yeah, it's just like there's a lid on the rim at the moment.
Yeah, some days you sort of turn up onto a court, don't you, like a bit like in football, and you think, there's no way I can miss. Then other days you're like, that's the right diameter, because I just can't see it. And I wonder whether that is the situation, particularly for the player at the free throw line at the moment. Their captain, Joanna McCaskill, I'm not sure that she scored from the free throw line as yet.
Going back Mairoa's way. Let's see what they do. Let's see if they stick with this motion offense, which seems to be just a pass and cut, and it's working out for them.
So just explain that terminology, motion offense.
Yeah, so what they're doing here, they just keep dribbling it around the perimeter, around the three-point line, and keep handing it off to the next person until they find a gap. And eventually they do, just like that.
Oh, good defence though from Cobham on this occasion. That is good. They just need to settle down a little bit. Again, Mairoa deciding to be relatively aggressive. Got to be careful though. Picking up another foul.
It might be a good foul with only 5 seconds left, running clock. I don't think Cobham's going to get a shot off. Actually, we're going to the line in a bonus 2 situation. So into this half-time break, she'll be having 2 shots.
Okay, so explain why that happened.
Yes, so in basketball, you only get a certain amount of team fouls, and once you pass that team foul limit, every foul after that, the other team is going to the free throw line to shoot 2. She makes the first. The lid has been taken off of the rim. Let's see if they can carry that on.
So Jessica Jennings at the free throw line. And they trail 13-6 and unsuccessful with the second attempt.
So with those fouls that I was talking about, that actually gets wiped clean at halftime. So now that foul count will reset, and they each have 5 more fouls to give before shooting again.
Well, Daron Raukawa is my analyst, tall black. What is going to be said inside the huddle from Cobham at half-time? Clearly been outplayed at the moment at both ends of the court. What needs to change?
I think their press break was doing them really well at the start of the game. You know, they were getting wide open laps from that, and I think they resorted to just trying to dribble up the court. You know, as you see with the netball background, they can try and get back to pass, and not actually having to dribble as much, and then get some nice easy layups instead of trying to fight, you know, 3 or 4 players at a time.
And from Mairoa, what, more of the same?
Yeah, more of the same. I think they're good. You know, I think they don't need to change anything. Their trap is working really well. They're running and jumping the other Cobham team and making Cobham rush. So that's what you want from them. And other than that, like I was saying before, their motion offense is good, and they'll stick with that. They should be in for another good half.
You are watching the final of the girls' basketball from Trust Power Arena in Mount Maunganui in Tauranga. It is the 5th day of the 2019 Anchor Ames Games. Our final has been played between Cobham Intermediate out of Christchurch and Mairoa Intermediate out of Hamilton. And it is Mairoa at the moment who lead 13 points to 7 as we now bring you the second half. 17 minutes, the last 3 minutes though of this half. The clock will stop every time there is an infringement. Team's entitled to 2 timeouts of 30 seconds. So now Mairoa immediately starting where they left off. Lovely little layup. Chance again with the rebound. This is where you would have thought a strength of Cobham. They've got the height.
Yeah, that's 2 offensive rebounds, and it ends up in a bucket. Cobham will be kicking themselves after that, knowing that they should get every loose rebound.
So travelling again. been travelling at both ends, but at the moment it seems to be Cobham that are being picked up for it. So Mairoa, gritty little gutsy player, the number 9 for Mairoa, and that is Anea Hemi.
Good defense, good hands-up defense, forcing that to be a tough shot, but it will stay with Mairoa ball. And even though they didn't hit the rim, there is no shot clock in Ames basketball, which means you can have as long as you want. As an and one happens, should go to the line for one more.
So a 2-point play could be made, a 3-point play, and that lead now being stretched, 17-7. We have a change for Cobham. We've got number 12 now out there on the court. And that is Millie Greenslade. And so Millie certainly brings a little bit more height.
She converted on that 3-point play too.
A chance better from Cobham. Nice little inside pass. Does it go though? You've mentioned it, that they're almost a lid on the basket. At the end for Cobham.
Look up, she has a teammate.
Ooh, it's better. Again, just got to watch that travelling. It's not something that comes necessarily that naturally for non-basketball players. It's just intuitive to take more than 2 steps. And here come Mairoa. And that is good basketball, breaking away. But again, that doesn't drop.
No shots are dropping for either team.
Gravity not favouring either side at the moment. Chance. Get the offensive rebound. Come up short once again. Mairoa looking to break and go quickly. Cobham having to get back. And just a chance here for Mairoa. You think maybe just slow it down, but they want to play it at pace. And that time it drops.
This is nice end-to-end basketball action over and over. That's good straight-up defense. Building a wall and not letting her get any closer to the rim than you want her to.
And good pass. Great vision again. Quality from Mairoa. Individually and collectively, they are one. In saying that, nice little turnover, great intercept here coming from Cobham. And the support arrives. And will that drop? No, but we will go to the free throw line. So a little bit more endeavour now being shown from Cobham.
You'd almost be sort of, what's the term, happy with that foul. Sending Cobham to the line with how Cobham has been shooting these free throws tonight. Hopefully these two can go.
Well, it is a chance. Sometimes you just want to slow things down a little bit. If you've got one team's got some ascendancy, just try and break their rhythm. You see it a lot in team sports, don't you? Some sides will feign injury or just to try and slow play down, do their shoelaces up to see if they can break that momentum.
Try and find their contact, yeah.
Absolutely.
I've faked that before, I don't even have a contact in. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you would use fake blood too. Oh, Mairoa just controlling through the middle of the court. That time they went straight down Broadway, but unsuccessful. It's better play from Cobham. The little layup still doesn't go in. Where is gravity today for them?
Yeah, you look at the Cobham bench and they're just wondering what's going on.
Well, they're asking themselves if Isaac Newton was real.
It's all made up.
33 is Poppy Bushward for Cobham. She has been all over the court. Here again, trying to set up some sort of defensive screen, but Mairoa, lovely little layup, but comes up short. So defensive rebound for Cobham. Looks for the inside pass. I think the intent was there.
Yeah, it was there, but Mairoa just closed that gap a little bit too quick.
Yeah, they're things, aren't they, that in time, you know, as these girls get older and they develop their basketball, that'll come in with a little bit more pace, it'll come in a little bit faster, and those types of passes will come off. But it is Cobham who just cannot seem to get a break when it comes to scoring, and finally they do pick up the 2 points. Well, is that the turning point? Does that change the momentum? Again, it was Joanna McCaskill, the captain.
Well, they still have 11 minutes and 15 seconds left, so there's still plenty of time in a basketball game.
They trail by 11. So So good defence from Cobham. No, it's much better. 2-on-1. But now decides to go direct. Straight down the middle.
Yep, good call by the ref. I've seen that come off the Mairoa player's knee.
And so we have a timeout. And it is Cobham who have called the timeout. What will be said during this 30-second break?
Well, maybe she's just saying, there we go. We've got a bucket. Let's build on this momentum and just try and keep attacking the rim.
Do they need to look to shoot more from the perimeter? Do they need to? Or is the skill set not quite there? Is that too risky? Is that putting your hand up and waving the white flag? Is that sending a signal to the opposition that perhaps you're out of ideas?
Yeah, well, I mean, for a team like this, Cobham team, who you know, I've had the privilege of being able to watch a couple of their games this tournament. They don't really have many three-point shooters, and you don't want to start forcing stuff that you're not good at. That's like me going in and trying to play with the big boys, you know what I mean? So I think a three ball, if they need it later on in the game, will start to show, but right now they can still make a comeback off a lot of two-pointers.
Well, Tia Kopu, number 5 for Mairoa. You've got this wonderful player, Anaya Nelson, in the number 7. They've just got quality right across the court. Chance here now. They need to turn this possession into points, but the turnover comes. They steal once again. And now, Cobham have to get back, set up some sort of screen on defence. I thought we might see the first three-point attempt of the day.
There we go. That was even a deep shot in terms of this game from the free throw line.
So, chance now for Cobham. This is better. This is better. And again, shot maybe just a little bit out of desperation and frustration as Mairoa look to break. It's beautifully controlled. Just almost a natural communication.
Yeah, they seem to know where each other are going to be on the floor and almost making the pass before they even see them.
Again, unsuccessful with the shot from the far corner. So what? So we're just seeing some turnover in the players. We've got number 15 coming onto the court for Cobham. And that is Manisha Seebeck.
Mairoa's just got their hands everywhere. Whenever you try and dribble, they're right there.
And they're not afraid to, you know, hold their ground. They're not afraid to go shoulder to shoulder. They're not afraid to pick up the odd foul in terms of physicality and just send a message to Cobham. You know, at this age, that can be a little bit of a scary prospect, but it's all gamesmanship. Cobham now look to try and score through their big, tall, rangy figure wearing the number 40. And Jessica Jennings. Oh, that's a good shot. Great shot. Coming from Manisha Seebeck. Manisha Seebeck.
Oh, straight away, just come right back at you. Before we even put those 2 points on the scoreboard, Mairoa's already scored 2 again.
Anything you can do, I can do better. Chance now. Turnover. Great steal. Very much playing at the team game. Oh, she's good, isn't she? She is a wonderful player. You can see the netball skills kicking there from Cobham Intermediate for Manisha Seebeck. Now the chance. Need to try and score. Need to try and score that basket. Be a very different game if some of those shots did drop. They've had their opportunities.
Yeah, they have. Let's see what they can do here. They've sit it out. First time they've... Oh, nice,
that's a good
take.
little layup. Yep, lovely little play there from Cobham of Christchurch. But full court now. Not afraid to go straight to the hoop, straight to the backboards.
And one.
And that is frustrating for the likes of Cobham. Thinking, can we claw ourselves back into this game? We just need a little bit of a break, and then it does drop. Maybe for Mairoa to go and score at the other end and pick up the foul. Breakaway. Good teamwork, good vision. This is better play from Cobham. Lovely basketball, quality basketball. Just showing why They are in this final. More of it. No, again, the pressure, the offensive pressure that is coming from Mairoa. Both sides will be aware of the clock. Just under 6 minutes remaining in this girls' final. 2019 Ames Games. You are watching it.
Now that's a great timeout by the Mairoa coach, because when it hits 3 minutes, the clock actually stops. So if she calls a timeout while the clock's still running, she can waste a whole 30 seconds there, and that means Cobham can't, claw their way back into this game. So a very smart timeout by the Mairoa coach.
Well, 24 points to 15, so 9 points difference. A three-pointer, it can suddenly change momentum a little bit, just give you a little bit more belief. And it's easy, isn't it? Sides that can get out in front, they build that confidence and they can take control. But if suddenly you can just create a little bit of a ripple, just put a little bit of doubt. It's interesting at this age to see how they handle that pressure. Hey, hang on a minute. Things are suddenly not going our way.
Yeah, I feel like pressure's tenfold at an age like this, you know what I mean? So as soon as you start to feel a little bit of it, you start to doubt, creeps in, and you want to try and change something up, but what you were doing before was good. So yeah, we'll see if Cobham can put some of that pressure here.
So it'll be Mairoa.
Nice hands.
We see the steal, we see the turnover.
Yeah, unluckily that's a back over half call. So once you, on the offensive end, get the ball over halfway, you're not allowed to come back behind halfway. That's actually a violation.
So to the free throw line we go. And you would expect Naya Nelson in the number 7. She is a wonderful player. Just looks the part. But unsuccessful on that occasion. And what's the key to being a good free throw player? Is it just a simple case of practice?
Yeah, practice and making sure you have the same routine every time you shoot a free throw, so that your body knows where you're at and how to make that bucket.
So Cobham looking to try and break quickly, but immediately Mairoa set up another very good defensive screen. But they do pick up the foul, and now a chance. No, it's no foul in fact. There's a chance here for Cobham.
Oh, can't go.
Well, what I'm liking about Cobham, you can certainly see for a young basketball program, there's certainly plenty of talent. They're understanding the game, but just quite technically don't seem to have it that perhaps what Mairoa have. I think the intent's there.
Yeah, definitely. You can see Mairoa is probably a team that's been together for a while and just hoops every day, you know what I mean? She thought about that three. I thought she was going to give us our first 3 of the game.
Well, they might not have a choice shortly. Again, travelling. They've been picked up on that 3 or 4 times throughout this match, throughout this game. And now Mairoa, they'll just probably want to slow things down to maybe just run that clock down a little bit.
Yeah, this is where you start to use that clock with no 24-second violations. You can just take all the time in the world now.
So we're at just over 2.5 minutes remain in this final. It is Mairoa Intermediate of Hamilton leading Cobham Intermediate of Christchurch 25 points to 15. 27 intermediate schools started this competition in the girls basketball, and these are the 2 best sides. And at the moment, it's all Mairoa. And when team gets momentum, it's amazing, isn't it? That just sort of almost fuels more momentum, and luck seems to go with you. And the sides that are perhaps not playing that well, you seem to get the rub of the green when it comes to the Quargs.
Yeah, definitely. This Mairoa team was off to a hot start as Cobham comes down, but still can't get it going. Players didn't hear the whistle, but a foul is called across the arm. There's a call there. Mairoa still has a couple more fouls to give until Cobham is shooting free throws. So no need to worry off of that foul that comes.
Well, it said they were going to be aggressive. And that's again, it's just getting that balance right with aggression, isn't it? Oh, some wonderful skills. Great play here. Mairoa lay out the complete package, and saying that, just a little lapse in concentration. Can Cobham turn that into points?
Oh,
it doesn't drop
no.
again. And we'll get a second opportunity, will they?
That shows how the game's gone for Cobham. A wide open layup and it still can't fall. Unlucky.
You wouldn't have missed that, would you?
Maybe I would have. I don't want to be the overachiever that you were the day before. Play on is the call.
And that clock is continuing to run down. 1:39 left on it. Of course, every time there is a stoppage, the clock does stop in the last 3 minutes of these finals. Still to come, they've got the 3-on-3 basketball final. The boys will be bringing you that. And then a little bit later on, it will be the boys' final, which should be an absolute cracker. Being a high standard of basketball amongst the boys. And here come Mairoa. Again, a little layup, not successful.
Yeah, with 1 minute 30 remaining in this game.
I think we go now for the threes. I think it's all or nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
Go to the perimeter. But
oh!
Pick up the foul, pick up the two.
That might just put the game away there, yeah.
Well, that is a big psychological blow.
And one is always a sweet play to get.
Timmy Para Walker with an opportunity from the free throw line. Hasn't quite got her shooting dialed in just yet. Here it comes. Oh, the foul surely.
No, it's just an out of bounds call and we're staying down here with Cobham. Oh, she thought about it. She might need to take that three.
Someone's going to need to take the three. Someone's certainly going to need to score, but look at that. Just that man-on-man D, just that swarming defense. Just pressing. Oh, good little play. This is great basketball. And they're just happy to run the clock down, I think, at this point.
Yep.
So it is Mairoa, intermediate out of Hamilton, in control at 27 points to 15 over Cobham. Cobham very much the dark horse that mentioned earlier. If you have just joined the commentary, they've actually got their flights booked out of Auckland at 8 o'clock. And they said, look, they didn't really expect to get through the final. It was more of an opportunity to gain some experience, get the basketball program going down there in Christchurch. And to be in the top 2 out of 27 teams is a pretty good achievement. But Mairoa have very much set the standard throughout this week of competition amongst the girls.
Yeah, Mairoa definitely the better team out of the two tonight. They've shown that on both ends of the floor. And
Liana Hedawini, their coach, Chelsea Savage, the assistant coach, Shay Robson, manager, and Shay will be incredibly proud because she's got 2 daughters in the team. Liana Robson wearing the number 6 and Shayana Robson in the number 12. So 54.4 seconds on the clock. 28-15 is the score.
Makes the first. Just really putting the nail in the coffin here.
Unsuccessful with the second. Really now, Cobham have got no choice. They just need to get it down to the far end of the court and shoot from the perimeter and just see if they can miraculously pick up some 3-point shots. I think we're going to see that now.
Yeah. Needs
got
to
no
hoist
choice.
one up.
Okay, great defense. So Mairoa with 30 seconds remain.
Yeah, another foul, and Cobham are in the foul bonus, so Mairoa will go to the line to shoot 2.
29.5 seconds on the clock. And successful. And that's really been the difference, hasn't it? I mean, I think Cobham have certainly had their opportunities in that first half from the free throw line. They just couldn't capitalise.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And sport is about percentages. Basketball very much a percentage-based sport.
Look at this, Mairoa still up, still pressing, still making life not easy for Cobham.
Now, need to shoot from the 3. Oh, great play, great little layup. Wonderful little moment of individual brilliance.
Yeah, that was a great take, coast to coast.
About 11 seconds, just running it down now.
Yeah,
Mairoa intermediate. It will be their championship in 2019. 2-1 And the final shot, but it is all over. Mairoa Intermediate are your 2019 Anchor Ames Games Girls Basketball Champions. Doing it comfortably, running out winners 31 points to 17. Congratulations must go, though, to Cobham Intermediate out of Christchurch. Came here relatively unknown. They will go home with a silver medal. Daron Raukawa sum things up for us, sum that final up, sum up the week in regards to the girls basketball here in Tauranga.
Oh, it's been a great week. I'm happy to be here to witness everything, commentate a couple of games, and just to see that final and how well these girls played. Oh, I couldn't ask for anything more. Well done to Mairoa and well done to Cobham.
And we've got the 3-on-3 men's final still to come, or the boys final, and then the men's final.
No, yeah. So
I say boys,
mixed.
but I look at the size of some of these young men, and I think you can genuinely say men's final.
You can. Yes, we have the 3-on-3. That's mixed. That's coming up next for you, and then the boys final.
So don't go away. More live coverage here from the Ames Games from Trust Power Arena.